Welcome back to the 4-300 here at Homestead Miami Speedway, and make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Back here at the track with 65 laps to go, another penalty for Elliott Sadler. They've stubbed their toe for a second time. This time it is speeding on that very last segment. And Andy, it's tricky here. It's only 27 feet long.
That's the thing. You don't realize that this last timing segment is a very short segment. And so even if you're coming off late on pit road, you can still get caught speeding. And so that's what happened to Elliott Sadler. He comes across that last line just a little too fast, thinking that he was free to go as fast as he could.
It was the one, which one, Ernie, leaving pit road? Yeah, between where the pit outline is and then the last line. Oh, I thought we said it wasn't one out there between my box and the line. I didn't know it was another one.
So on lap 35, he has a loose lug nut. Now, here with 65 to go, a speeding penalty.
Yeah, and this is going to put him back behind all the cars. You have to start the tail end of the longest line.
Took him 25 laps to go from 32nd to 10th earlier tonight. Here we go as we get ready to restart it. Pace car is down. It is Carl Edwards, Trevor Bayne up front, and Edwards has taken the inside line. Keselowski, Stenhouse, Boyer, and Hornish. That's your top six. Great restart for Carl.
Yeah, you can see Trevor Bayne really struggling. He was spinning the tires there.
Ricky Stenhouse got a good restart. That's been one of his Achilles heels this year. He's running in that second spot, side by side. Clint Boyer trying to get ahead of Trevor, but now losing ground.
Well, Clint lost a lot of time on that ground around the green flag stops when the caution came out and had to take the wave around and go to the back. But now he's able to start up front with the rest of the fast cars and see if he can make it up to the front.
But he's getting past right now as we go on board. That's the 22 of Brad Keselowski, and here comes the 18 of Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, you've seen Hamlin run the bottom of the track most of the time, especially when he had fresh tires, but he was outside the top 10 that last run for quite a while.
And Hamlin knows he's got to get on his horse and get to the front because Edwards is leading this race, which also means he's leading in that owner's championship. On board with Clint.
Edwards is also leading the most laps right now, so that's another point.
Come by the stripe has got Edwards, Stenhouse, Brad Keselowski, Bayne, and Boyer with Denny Hamlin. That's your top six. And look at they are side by side. Here comes the 18 up on Trevor Bayne.
Yeah, the restarts haven't been the best for Trevor Bayne here. It looks like it takes his car a little bit of time to come in. The new tires aren't exactly when he's at his best.
And Denny's gotten back down to the bottom where he's been feeding all night.
So he's making it work, headed to the front.
Jamie, what are you hearing on that 18 car?
Very impressive pit stop for the 18 bunch. He said he was too loose, so he came in the rear tire changer. Jake Seminara made the wedge adjustment, ran around to the left side, pushed his spring rubber in, and they got him out and gained him 2 positions. The car is better. Marty?
And we already mentioned, in fact, Jason Radcliffe, his only goal was to win this race. It's not worrying about where the 60 is. He wants to win it. They've still got some ground to cover. He's back in the top 5.
Well, if he's going to win it, he's going to have to pass that 60. Know where he's at.
That's pretty impressive, that tire changer doing everything he was doing. And pushing a spring rubber in is much harder than pulling it out right now.
Yeah, it is. That was a really good job, and the car is better this time.
Elliott Sadler restarted 19th. Just to give you an update, he has worked his way back only to 17th right now. Still got a lot of lap vehicles in between him.
Real loose up there off turn 2.
Getting back to the main group. Here's our first real look at Danica Patrick tonight. She's been staying on the lead lap. She's running right now in the 15th position. And really, the guy who we haven't given enough credit is Tony Eury. Yesterday, she has talked about how much confidence she has in Tony Eury Jr. and the fact that she tells him what's happening, and he, as in her words, works his magic.
Yeah, he's done a great job with her, and I think that that chemistry we always talk about, they have it, and I think it's going to carry on until next year. Dave, how's the race going so far tonight?
Well, it's not too bad, Andy, and Tony understands what it is that Danica knows she can't do yet, which is drive the loosest car in the world, which sometimes you need to do in order to drive these cars fast. So he works around that. It was a little bit too loose coming off of turn 4 during the last run, so they popped a spring rubber into the left rear spring, and so far she's been pretty quiet on the radio, meaning it's a little bit better. But she told me before the race, they kind of went back to where they started, and she knew, on the weekend that is, and she knew that that would include some loose. She gets better at it each race.
Well, during the offseason, they're going to be working on short track program. Tony said that's going to be our main focus of testing. Now, one cute story. Today is Danica's 6th anniversary. She admitted she woke up this morning, looked at her husband, Paul, and said, "I'm sorry, honey, I forgot to get you a card." Guess she had her mind on the race. All right, let's check in back a little farther forward in the field as we've got some good action going on there. There you see Joey Logano in that 9th spot and his teammate in the 11, Brian Scott, right behind him with Justin Allgaier in that red 31. And then the 38 of Jason Leffler. That is all 4 position.
You can see once again just the different lines being utilized here, but certainly not a Logano type performance that we've come to expect. We expect to see him up in the top 5 battling for wins.
They almost had contact there as the 11 sort of slid up for a moment, but Scott recovered. No harm, no foul. And right behind this group is David Stremme. Stremme doing a fine job in that 70 car. He's running 13th. Left side of your screen, that is Clint Boyer and Denny Hamlin. That is for 4th on the racetrack, and we continue to focus on that battle for 10th on the right. Justin Allgaier trying to make a move on Brian Scott on the right side. Can't do it, so he falls back into line. We've had a lot of great action, but out in front, Carl Edwards has now led 80 of the 145 laps that we have completed. There is your top 5 at the Ford 300, and yes, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has clinched the championship.